This is Studio One at CBS.
On the night of May 16th, 1849, the sailing ship Land O'Lakes out of Buffalo, bound for Milwaukee, encountered a northwest gale. 800 yards north of this spot, she struck the reef and foundered. All hands were lost, including 60 immigrants, passengers on the unfortunate vessel. To the memory of the sailing ship Land O'Lakes, lost in these northerly waters of Lake Michigan, this lighthouse is dedicated. Thunder Rock, A.D. 1901.
With a dramatic moment from Thunder Rock by Robert Ardrey, CBS invites you to Studio One, a full-hour Columbia feature from the pages of the world's great storytellers, storytellers known and loved by millions. To introduce tonight's great story, here is the director of Studio One, Fletcher Markle.
Mr. Robert Ardrey's remarkable play, Thunder Rock, is about a man who attempted to escape from our troubled world to another world of his imagination. We have a particular reason for performing it tonight, as you'll soon hear, and we hope that reason means as much to you as it does to us. As for the principals in tonight's cast, you'll be hearing one of our Studio One favorites, Robert Dryden, as Streeter, with Broadway's Clarence Derwent as Captain Joshua and Stefan Schnabel as Dr. Kurtz. And I'm going to remain at the microphone to play the young man who tells the story. My name is Charleston, David Charleston. Most of what I want to tell you tonight happened exactly 8 years ago. In the first days of September 1939, a war began. Remember? It was officially declared a war just a few hours from now, 8 years ago. I was in the United States Lighthouse Service then, getting on to the end of my second year as keeper of Thunder Rock. Living alone on a speck of an island in northern Lake Michigan is a pretty solitary kind of life for a man in his early 30s, but it was what I wanted, or thought I wanted, 8 years ago. Keeping the lighthouse on Thunder Rock got me out of having to live in a confused and disagreeable world. Well, what I want to tell you about actually began one afternoon early in August of 39. Inspector Flanning, the local superior officer of the Lighthouse Service, Nani, his helper, and my old friend Streeter, who flew the supply plane for them, had just arrived at the Rock. Regular monthly trip, inspection and supplies.
That's your last load, Nunny?
Not yet, Mr. Streeter. Wish it was.
Gas and kerosene outside, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, Charleston, I've got a surprise for you. Brought a radio this trip.
I don't want a radio, thanks, Inspector.
I told you, Flanning.
But after all, Charleston...
Got a match, Street, my pipe's out.
Sure.
Charleston, in certain situations, a radio can be man's best friend. You sit out here alone on a half-acre rock in the middle of Lake Michigan, 50 miles from the nearest landfall, and once a month you see us. I feel responsible for you, Charleston. You won't let me bring you the newspapers. You don't want any new books.
And I don't want a radio.
But you're getting out of touch.
If I wanted to keep in touch, what would I be doing here?
A man owes it to himself to keep in touch. How's everything going to come out? Hitler, Mussolini, the dictators versus democracy, fascism, communism, war versus peace. This is a great year, 1939. What happens next? It's drama, my boy. Sheer, stark drama.
Inspector, it just happens I have a bottle of Irish whiskey right here in the locker. Let's all have a drink, huh?
Charleston, were you listening to me?
I'm sorry, Inspector. I respect your curiosity concerning the future. I just don't happen to share it. Have a drink?
No, thank you. Charleston, I don't mind telling you you're a problem.
Sorry, Flanning.
You'd better get on with your inspecting, Inspector. We've got to get out of here by sunset.
All right. I'm going up top to check over the light right now. I don't understand it. Scores of normally sociable keepers in the lighthouse service, and I get Charleston.
This one's yours, Street. Skol.
Skol, Charlie.
Streeter and I toasted each other a couple of times and laughed a little. We'd been old friends for a long time, but now we hadn't been seeing each other often enough to be really relaxed together. I could see that Street was nervous about something. Finally, he came to the point.
Charlie, How much money do I owe you?
What do you want to know for?
I'm paying off, Charlie. How much?
What's the little book?
If you don't remember how much, you'll have to take my figures. This is the record, the little red book. On the last page here, it says $1,250 even.
What?
Even.
Since when?
Since beginning in 1930, January. You were out on the West Coast prowling into love nests for Mr. Hearst. I was flying for Standard Oil in Venezuela.
Street, what's the point?
I socked the district manager in the snoot, got fired, cabled you for dough for my passage home. $100, 1930. Yeah, here's another. Paris, 1934, another 100.
Who'd have guessed you kept books?
Who'd have guessed you'd turn hermit? December, 34, still Paris, 50 more. I enjoyed Paris.
Why pay back this money?
1935, 300 credit in October, getting my plane out of hock. Only time in my life I ever hocked my plane.
All these years. Why pay me back now, Street, right now when I can't spend it?
2 years ago, January 1937, back in the States, you were flusher than ever. The man who made money in 1937, the book of the year, inside the inside of something. I thought it stunk, but I didn't say so. Reward for reticence, $150 cash.
Quitting the service, aren't you?
Always a smart fella, huh, Charlie? 1937.
You don't expect to see me again, do you? If you thought you'd ever see me again, you wouldn't pay back that dough.
Don't jump to conclusions.
Why leave the service, Street?
Better job? Why else?
Where?
China.
China?
You heard me. Now, pour us another.
These days, this is 1939. There's a war in China.
I'm flying to Shanghai the end of the week, Charlie. 10 days and I'm at work. I'm curious, too, Charlie. Why should a guy like you be living on this forsaken rock in the middle of Lake Michigan? You're no poet. You're not even a solitary drinker.
Why China?
What do you say we let things stand as stated? No questions asked, no questions answered. Let's go.
Let's go. So you're flying for the Chinese, huh?
Well, why not?
That's a new line for you, war flying?
Peace or war, a job's a job. Knocking down Japanese bombers out of the Chinese sky happens to pay far better than delivering groceries on the Great Lakes.
You're not doing it for money.
Who says?
You're not doing it for money because you don't expect to come back.
I'm taking my chances.
You know your chances, Street. You haven't got one.
Well, so I haven't got one.
Why should a man go halfway around the world just to commit suicide? I didn't know you were that romantic. China.
I don't call this suicide, Charlie, and I'm not dying for any causes. I'm going to China for one reason. I'm sick of reading the newspapers. I'm sick of problems. I'm sick of strikes and unemployment and what all else.
Who isn't?
Time comes around, you've got to do something. That's all there is to it. You can't just stand by and watch forever.
Nobody says you can. I'm a professional spectator. I spent 15 years watching. Now I can't. Not any longer.
Well, then what are we arguing about? Nothing.
Nothing? You think the world's got a chance? I don't. I say the world's hell-bent for destruction. You call that nothing?
I still say I can't just stand by and watch.
Who says you've got to? Get out of it, you fathead.
Oh, so that's it. Get out of it. Sit on a rock in the middle of Lake Michigan. Twiddle your thumbs. Count your toes. No, thanks, Charlie. I'll take China.
We paced around and around the tall circular room, glaring at each other. Then I thought I'd better tell Streeter about what had been happening to me. Tell him what was going on in my head. I stopped my pacing in front of the Thunder Rock Memorial tablet, a bronze plaque that had been set in the wall when the lighthouse was built. Listen to this, Street. On the night of May 16th, 1849, the sailing ship Land of Lakes out of Buffalo, bound for Milwaukee, encountered a northwest gale. 800 yards north of this spot, she struck the reef and foundered. All hands were lost, including Captain Joshua Stewart, his gallant crew, and 60 immigrants, passengers on the unfortunate vessel. To the memory of the sailing ship Land of Lakes lost in these northerly waters of Lake Michigan, my life is dedicated.
Wait a minute. This lighthouse is dedicated, it says.
1849. That was one of our best years, Street. Things weren't so good in Europe, but over here, the rush to California was in full swing.
Why did you say my life is dedicated?
I'm sorry I made it sound pretentious. But let me tell you, Street, it's good to live among hopeful people once more.
You talk like crazy.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean people without problems. There's no such animal. I mean people with problems with solutions. Street, I quit the Daily News when I got back from Spain. I was washed up. I couldn't be objective. I hadn't any future reporting. I knew, likewise, I hadn't any future crusading. When all a man can say is, we can't find answers for our problems because our problems haven't got any answers. When that's all a man can honestly say, then he makes a lousy crusader. Man, I'd give the shirt off my back in a hurry for one good, ignorant, constructive, uncompromising bias. Something I could shout from the rooftops. Street society's got no worse enemy than a cynic. I took this job to put myself out of circulation. Take it or leave it, but that's why I came here. Well?
Go on.
The first day I was here, I noticed that memorial plaque on the wall. I got thinking about it later on, the immigrants in particular. I got comparing their day and their lives with ours. It all comes down to this. In their day, you looked up the answer in the back of the book. The land, expansion. Go west, young man. Come down to our day, Street, look up the answer in the back of the book, you know what you find. Expansion. We can't get away from it. Nations hawk their resources. Japan, Italy, Germany, look at them. But now in 1939, expansion means conquest. Expand by force. War. And there at that point, the actual horror begins. Civilization slips out the window. The writing on the wall, Street. Society itself is a lost cause, but there's still a job for a few of its members.
Such as?
Keeping lighthouses?
You call that a job?
For a few of us.
What about the people that go off and fight?
I suppose they'll get killed?
You suppose they'll get killed. What about the women, the children, the old men? They'll die off, you suppose.
I hope.
You hope?
They'll die off. Exposure, disease, famine, they'll die off.
And I went to school with you. The kid from Spoon River, the kid that worshipped Abraham Lincoln.
Shut up.
The man who liked people, you hypocrite.
Streeter, shut up.
You lying hypocrite.
You... I beg your pardon, Street. For all humanity, I make one wish. Let the people die off fast. You'd better put some cold water on your lip. Through that door. Bedroom first, then the bathroom.
I say things I don't mean, Charlie. That's how I get.
It was a pretty uncomfortable situation. Neither of us knew what to say or do. When Streeter returned, we stared at each other and then at the floor. I refilled our glasses. Try this on your lips, Street.
Right. Skull.
I'm sorry, Street.
It's all right.
Skull.
You made a remark a while ago. You said it was good to live with hopeful people again.
That's right, it is.
You live here by yourself.
In a way.
In a way.
I've rejected a world that I can't help, and I'm building one up that I can.
Where?
In my own head, of course. Where else?
In your own head.
Street, haven't you ever imagined people? The best remarks a man ever makes, he makes on his way home.
But a world, that's what you said, a world.
Oh, it's a very small world. I've got half a dozen people so far.
What people?
The passengers on the sailing ship Land O'Lakes.
I don't get it, Charlie. You mean ghosts?
No, not at all. More like characters in an author's mind while he's writing a book. I found the passenger list in an old report. I've got their names, where they came from, where they were bound. That's all. It's enough to work on.
Half a dozen. The thing up there says 60 immigrants.
No, I'm trying to see them the way they were. Half a dozen's all I can handle for a while.
You give me goose flesh. Charlie, it's all very fine. It's all very interesting. You can think about people okay, but that's not living with them.
See them clearly enough, it is?
Oh, it's impossible.
Maybe so, but it works.
Wait a while. I'm still... Who do you think these people are?
Well,
who do they think you are?
They think I'm me, myself, the lightkeeper.
Well, when is it? Now or then?
Then, 1849.
Then they don't know they're dead.
Oh, no. Well, Joshua does. I had to tell him.
Who?
Captain Joshua, skipper. I got so confused myself at first, I had to have a confidant. I told Joshua.
You mean there's a man in your own mind who knows he's dead, who knows it's 90 years later, who knows he's just an idea in somebody else's head?
Right.
And you and he sit down and talk things over, and that's what you call clearing up confusion?
Yes. And there are others, too. Dr. Kurtz and his wife and daughter from Vienna, a man named Briggs from a factory town in England, and Miss Kirby.
Charlie, you're going crazy.
Oh, the whole thing sounds pretty silly, I suppose, from where you're standing. But I challenge anybody to say that my world is sillier or more futile than the world I was born into.
You really mean business?
I do. I want a decent world to live in, Street, or I've got to make it myself.
I wish you luck.
Wish yourself luck. Try it. It's the one way out.
Oh,
You can have
Charlie.
anything you want in your mind, Street. Nowhere else. Mankind's got one future in the past.
Next, Charlie, I'll take China.
But straight.
Now, let's not argue. I crack up in a rice field and I never come back no more, so what? I'll have plenty of Japanese bombers for company. That's all I want.
Street.
Let's just not argue, see? I believe one thing, you believe something else. I think the world's got an outside chance. You believe it hasn't. That's all.
As usual, everything's in order. Nani finished with the supplies?
I think so. Nani?
You calling me, Mr. Streeter?
Yeah. Better go down to the plane. We'll be there in a minute.
5 minutes to sunset. We've got no time to lose. Charleston, I'll see you a month from today on my next tour of inspection. I'll bring you a relief man at that time.
What relief man?
I told you last time I was here. Your leave begins the 1st of next month.
I told you I don't want it. I'm not interested in a leave.
The leave is compulsory. I'll see you in September, a month from today.
Right.
Coming, Streeter?
Be down in a minute.
Very well. I'm leaving that radio on the table right where it is. Good luck, Charleston.
Well, we might as well kill that bottle. Maybe we could put a message in it. Drop it in the lake.
Trouble with us, Street, we're a couple of guys without enough message to even put in a bottle.
But you wrote a whole book once, inside the inside of something. One man's hopes.
There isn't any more to say.
Hey, Streeter!
That's Flanning.
Well, good luck, Street. Maybe you're invulnerable and you'll become a legend in the Far East, a white peril.
Sure. Well, it's been nice. Thanks for the refreshments.
Hey, Streeter!
Oh, shut up, Flanning.
Oh, give it up, Charlie. This ivory tower stuff, it won't work. Come with me. I'll tell Flanning he'll send out a replacement Saturday. He'll be glad to get rid of you. I'll need a gunner. This won't work, Charlie.
It's got to be tried.
Try China.
China's been tried.
Come on, Streeter!
One of us is wrong. I hope it's you.
So do I.
So long.
So long, Street. Streeter's plane took off into the sunset. I stared at the place in the sky where he was vanishing into the world outside, and I could feel my own new world closing in around me. My world of 1849 and Captain Joshua and the passengers of the sailing ship Land O'Lakes, long dead, and yet for me so very much alive. In the instant of sunset, the light in the room was cool, pale, and remote. Captain Joshua? Captain Joshua?
Aye, man.
Good evening.
A good evening to you, Mr. Charleston.
Hours became days, and days became weeks, and the world of 1849 and the people of the shipwrecked Land O'Lakes I'd brought to life again in my mind seemed very real around me. There was Captain Joshua, of course, who was quickly becoming the voice of my conscience, and Dr. Kurtz of Vienna, his French wife, and their daughter Melanie, a young and lovely rebel with whom I often quarreled in fun, and Miss Kirby of England, whose whole life had been a fight for women's rights, and also from England Briggs, a consumptive from the potteries of Birmingham. It was Millie Briggs, his wife, who was the center of our attention one September night 8 years ago, a month after Streeter had gone.
Mr. Charleston, where's Dr. Kurtz? It's time.
I'm right here by the window bench, Mr. Briggs. I've been attempting to rest.
It's time, Doctor. Millie needs you now.
Let me gather myself together.
Oh, these doctors, Mr. Charleston. It's them as the babies. Do you know what I mean? Give me a midwife any time.
This coat.
Just be taking it calm and easy, my fine doctor. My Millie's calm, isn't she? She's had 9. She can have 10.
A brush. Get me a brush.
On the shelf there, Doctor.
A brush? What for? To make yourself pretty?
I must be clean.
Clean? You're a duke in a palace, perhaps.
Be quiet. Come, let us go up.
And about time, I'd say.
Mr. Charleston, while you're inventing fastidious doctors, could you not invent a manner of childbirth that creates less disturbance? Good evening, Miss Melanie.
Mama told me about Mrs. Briggs. Do you know Papa hasn't any instruments? I was the stupid one. I carried the instruments all the way from Vienna then in the wreck one wave. Ah,
That's too bad.
it is very much too bad. I am going to make some tea for Mr. Briggs.
Go on. Invent the poor man a set of instruments, why don't you?
I can hardly do that, Captain. Where would he think they came from?
For a fact, I've a great advantage on them, knowing I'm dead when they do not. I can enjoy a miracle. There's something I'd like to ask.
Go ahead.
You're pleased with yourself tonight. And why?
Why not?
It's a rapid change. For many a day you've been gloomy. Your people lack the substance you desire. Little better than shadows we were. You told me yourself you were frightened of failure.
I'm not bothered anymore.
Only this morning you were still frightened. Tomorrow you must leave for a spell on the mainland, and you feared you'd forget us before your return.
The baby, Captain Joshua, was a great idea. As soon as they found out about Mrs. Briggs, they all came to life. It's something about having babies. Would you believe me? I'm worried about Mrs. Briggs myself.
Baby, bah.
That's what I mean. It's even brought something out in you.
Then we're such flesh and blood of a sudden that we'll not disappear like a mist in the morning.
Well said, Joshua.
Well said. Blast you. I've told you before, I'll have no compliments, not from you. It's your words I'm speaking. You compliment yourself.
This is getting fantastic. A man in my own mind steps up and tells me off.
I warn you, man. I'm serious. To sit here and watch and listen to your people about us, it's one thing. I'm content. But remind me that a man that's dead, and I'm a man that's dead 90 years ago. I speak no word, I make no move, but it's at your beck. Remind me of that. I'm discontent.
I'm sorry, Captain.
Well, we'll say no more of it. Let's get on with the baby.
In a few minutes, Briggs appeared at the door of the upper bedroom where Millie was and came down the iron stairs to us.
They won't have me around. How do you like that?
A father in labor. It's a pitiful sight.
Once a year it comes to my mind I'm a beast on 4 legs, and my Millie's a wonderful woman.
How long have you been making this annual apology, Briggs?
10 years now. All boys. The ones that's lived I'm referring to.
Briggs, man, the baby'll be born as strong and healthy. He'll be the spitting image.
The spitting image of me? You know, I've heard tell of them that went to California with fever in the lung, and lo and behold, they was cured. You're a wise and educated man, Mr. Charleston, and this is your country. Is that true?
Oh, so I'm told, Briggs.
Oh, Lord, take care of my Millie.
Mr. Briggs?
Good evening, Miss Kirby.
Good evening, Captain. Mr. Briggs? Give your wife my best wishes.
Thank you. I will when I can see her. Excuse me.
Is the baby born yet? I'm praying it's not a girl.
We don't know yet, Miss Kirby.
10 years ago, every child born, I'd pray it would be a girl. A female Moses, to deliver her sex from bondage and lead them into the promised land, where women may earn their livings and be more than an object of pity. Where after supper, when the dishes are cleared away, we'll follow the men to the parlor, and we'll all speak together of the world's affairs. Only 10 years ago. How I prayed for the birth of a female Moses.
And now you've given up your fight, Miss Kirby?
Oh,
I'm so sorry. Do I intrude?
No, it doesn't matter, Mrs. Cook. If I still had the heart for fighting, Mr. Charleston, I'd be fighting at home, where I belong. Why am I here, where I don't belong? Because I'm 40 years old, and I'm ugly. I've spent my life fighting for the dignity of women, and I've made of myself an undignified old warrior in the process. Who wants me now?
What are you going to do?
Well, this is a new country. Perhaps here I can become a new woman. Or perhaps it is just that I've never really been a woman at all. Perhaps I can find a husband, and before it's too late, a child. A boy, I hope. My hair, it hasn't turned gray. It's still rather attractive. I'm sure it's still rather attractive. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going outside for a walk.
I still have my umbrella, you see, in case it rains.
Before I could move, Captain Joshua was on his feet and out the door after Miss Kirby. Mrs. Kurtz and I stood silent in the empty room. As Melanie came out of the upper bedroom and started down the stairs, Mrs. Kurtz turned to me.
Can't we talk about Paris? Always when things are so complicated, I like to think about Paris and when I was a girl and gay and when we didn't understand and we didn't trouble to try. Can't we think about Paris, Mr. Charleston?
Why did you come to America, Mrs. Kurtz?
Mrs. Briggs is not doing very well.
Wait, please, I've got to know. Melanie, I'll ask you. Did you come to America because your father was looking for opportunity, or was it like Miss Kirby, you're running away? Why did you leave Vienna?
Because people burn down our house. People don't like Papa because Papa experiments with animals in the basement. The people say sometimes he kidnaps children.
Why do they say that?
Because the people are afraid of him.
You see, Papa makes in the basement a little liquid. You smell it, so you are asleep. You feel no pain. If people are afraid Papa will put them to sleep, he'll steal their money and kidnap their children. So the people burn down our house.
What will you do in America?
Papa has an old friend. He is a doctor in the country in Wisconsin. The friend will share his practice with Papa.
What'll happen to his work on anesthetics?
On what?
On putting people to sleep.
He will forget it.
Forget it?
People prefer to shriek in pain.
Oh, that's not true.
And now you are going to be optimistic? You Americans. You are silly little boys. You know so very little.
Melanie, if your father'd keep on with his work in only a few years...
Listen, Mama. David will now say optimistic things.
Do you believe as she believes, Mrs. Kurtz?
Perhaps, as my daughter says, you know very little.
1849, all that lies ahead, and you refuse.
We're back. Miss Kirby and I took a little walk. It's a wet wind.
I hope it was a nice walk.
Aye, but there's a storm coming up at any minute.
Mrs. Briggs, something is happening, baby. We must go up. Yes, quickly.
As the women reached the foot of the iron stairs, the door above opened and Briggs appeared. He seemed not to see us. I felt as if I were in a trance. It did not seem possible that these people were all in my mind. Briggs moved slowly down the stairs, crossed to the outer door, and went out into the storm. No one moved or spoke. Then Dr. Kurtz appeared and came down to us.
Papa?
What has happened?
It is a pity.
Oh, no. The baby, too?
Papa, both.
It's a great pity.
So quickly.
She had no strength.
Charleston, why do you do this to them?
Quiet, Joshua.
Why do you blame Mr. Charleston?
Oh, forgive me. I was thinking of something else.
The woman lived her days in poverty and overwork and eternal childbirth. Blame no one in this room when she dies. It is merely a pity.
It is a blessing, I say. She is dead and the little one too, and it is a blessing.
Is that what you believe?
I say the mother and child are dead. It is a blessing. I believe it. How can you? You're cruel. When I was a girl, I could have a child and be happy. But now I must consider.
Consider what?
Will the child be happy? I called you cruel. Forgive me.
Do you call it a blessing, too?
Yes. It might have been a girl. I am glad.
I, too, am glad. Because now there are two people less in the world.
Melanie, you don't agree with her.
Melanie.
You look at me reproving. Do I not say what you believe and you are afraid to say? Do I not?
You do not.
Then I say more. Two ignorant people lie dead. And there is that much less ignorance in the world tonight.
Be still.
The same ignorance, Papa, that rose up in the night in Vienna, Papa, and burned our house and ended your work.
I say be still.
I will not. If all the ignorant people in all the world might only die tonight, then there'd be an end to all ignorance.
They don't need to die. One word, education.
Education. The rich are few.
But a time will come when people won't need to be rich.
They will pay for their schooling with cabbages, perhaps. Cabbages and bundles of wood.
A woman and her baby are dead. Isn't there anybody here that's sorry?
Mr. Briggs is the sorry one. Go find Mr. Briggs.
From Studio One at CBS, you are listening to Fletcher Markle's version for listening of Thunder Rock by Robert Ardrey. Our story will resume after a pause for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Our story will resume after a pause for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Continuing Columbia's full-hour feature production from Studio One, the story of a man who attempted to escape from a troubled world into another world of imagination. Thunder Rock by Robert Ardrey.
On that September night 8 years ago, I was beginning to be more than a little concerned about how the people I had recreated were behaving. It no longer seemed that I had any control over them, even though they only existed in my own mind. Captain Joshua went out to find Briggs. No one spoke while he was gone. Presently the door opened and Briggs walked in limply, followed by Joshua.
It's raining. It's raining hard. I'm quite wet.
We'll get you warm, man.
A little whiskey, Mr. Briggs?
No, thank you, ma'am. I'm no drinking man.
But you'll catch your death of cold.
Well, so be it. Millie. She's waiting on me, you know. The young un, too. Evan, you know. She's an impatient woman, Millie is. She don't want me keeping her waiting long. Oh, no, Mrs. Kurtz, there's nothing sad. We prayed for this, we did. First that Millie would be taken and the young un, and then later on myself. It's the only way, you know.
Oh.
Miss Kirby. Mr. Charleston, tell them it's nothing sad. Please, will you tell them?
You'd best try and get some sleep.
Dr. Kurtz, tell me we wasn't sinful. We prayed we'd die, but it was God we prayed to.
You did no wrong.
Oh, Millie, you're in heaven, ain't you? You're safe, ain't you? And happy and smiling and waiting.
Mr. Briggs, if we understand, then certainly God does too. We live in a troubled world. Be assured God is no less troubled than we. Now the world grows dark. Enlightenment and justice shrink like little rivers when there is no rain. God looks down and he sees his people. You, Mr. Briggs, and all the working men in England and Vienna and France. He sees you working from dawn till night, underpaid, underfed, conceiving children you wish might never be born, powerless to help yourselves. He sees you fleeing across oceans and continents, hoping even for death. Mr. Briggs, God understands. He understands, and I think he forgives. He sees us deserting our fatherlands and all our deepest dreams. The triumph of science, the enlightenment of education, the dignity of labor, the equality of women and men. These are the banners we leave on the field. He sees us now groping about in an alien land for all the second prizes, wealth, peace of mind.
Dr. Kurtz. You come to America searching for freedom. That's no second prize.
We are fugitives seeking sanctuary, nothing more.
I want one thing only, to give you hope. This is 1849. How can you give up so soon?
It is 1,849 years since hope was at its highest. Is that so soon?
You speak of God, that he's given up. How can you know?
It's evident.
In what way?
Mr. Charleston, a genius is a mortal man possessed of a divine spark. Shakespeare and Rembrandt, Dante, Voltaire, Goethe, Beethoven, all the many leaders down through the ages. They bear the touch of God. The last genius is dead. 20 years, and no man rises to take Beethoven's place. God has given up the struggle.
Stefan Kurtz, in your own city, in your own Vienna, a young man plays the organ tonight. His name is Johannes Brahms.
In Vienna?
Brahms.
He must be very young.
In England tonight, there's a man not so young. He's working in his study. You should know of him. His name's Darwin, Charles Darwin.
A kinsman of Erasmus Darwin?
A grandson, a biologist. In Paris tonight, in your own Paris, Anne-Marie, working in your own profession, Kurtz, Louis Pasteur.
No, these are the lesser people. I speak of genius.
Miss Kirby, in your London, a young woman. Her name is Florence Nightingale. If you'd only stayed there a few more years.
I've never heard the name.
Oh, my friends, there's so many. In my own country, in Illinois, where I was born, a young lawyer, tonight in his office, a few hundred miles from here. Abraham Lincoln. Dr. Kurtz, you must continue the work you gave up when you left Vienna.
What do you know of this?
Continue it.
My work I leave behind.
No, stay with it. Men live among you today who will be the leaders you despair of finding.
You are most optimistic.
This isn't optimism, I know.
I knew also when I was young.
Please, have the vision to look ahead. See America, your adopted land, where the poor go to school with the rich. See women sitting in the House of Commons and in the Senate of the United States. See laborers working but 8 hours a day.
You're mad. He's mad, Papa, the way he speaks.
Mr. Charleston is not mad because he speaks in prophecy. He's merely wrong.
Oh, listen to me. I'm neither wrong nor crazy. I say that in less than a century, every single thing you despair of will have been accomplished.
For thousands of years, men struggled for these things. Now you ask us to believe that in less than a century more...
I do! In the space of that child's lifetime, that child upstairs, if he had lived.
I appeal to your reason.
I appeal only to your faith.
Faith, blind faith. You, a young and inexperienced man, living alone in a lighthouse in the middle of the American wilderness, ask us to deny the experience of our lifetime. You ask too much.
Oh, all I know, and I cannot help you.
Why do you say you know? Why are you so sure?
Hey, Millie, there's a cold wind.
Papa, I'm
Be
frightened.
still. Now, Charleston, these things you tell us, what makes you so sure?
I tell you, I know. You must believe me.
Mr. Charleston, will you please not to bother us? You've your light to tend, we've journeys to make. Will you please just to leave us be?
Could I leave them? And should I? Was that the way out of it? I stood there stunned, my mind whirling. I dismiss you all!
Mr. Charleston, careful. You wanted the truth, didn't you?
And I have it. I'm as helpless in a world of my own choice as I was in the world I was born into. At least this world is mine, and I can dismiss it.
I warn you, Charleston, you may discover a truth far more unpleasant yet.
Enough, Joshua. Kurtz, it happened 90 years ago. Your ship was lost with all hands. You exist in my mind only.
What does he say? Told you he's mad.
We are dead?
Oh, Mary. Stop that, Mama. He's insane.
I am not insane. Joshua, tell them what I say is true.
I'll tell them nothing. I've warned you.
Go to bed, David.
Yes, you need some rest, Mr. Charles.
Delusions and hallucinations. Rest well for a few days and...
Kurtz, go to that little box on the table there. We call it a radio. Turn the knob on the right. If you ask for proof that 90 years have passed...
What if it's magic? Dr. Kurtz, have a care.
Of course, I will turn the knob. There. Nothing happens.
Wait. Voices will speak. You'll hear about statesmen whose names you don't know. War of a kind you couldn't conceive of.
Vienna.
Papa, Herr Strauss.
Wait a minute. There'll be words.
Well, I hear nothing strange. How does the music box work? I cannot understand, but the music...
Oh, it's a weird American device, and that's all.
Captain Joshua. Over on the wall, Captain Joshua, on that wall there's a memorial tablet dedicated to all of you. Read it to them, Joshua.
I'll not.
Melanie?
David,
Miss Melanie, refuse him.
Read it, Melanie.
On the night of May 16, 1849, the sailing ship Land O'Lakes, driven east of her course...
What's all this?
800 yards north of this spot. She struck the reef and foundered. All hands were lost, including Captain Joshua Stewart, his gallant crew, and 60 immigrants, passengers on the unfortunate... Papa!
Go on. Finish it.
To the memory of the sailing ship Land O'Lakes, this lighthouse is dedicated. Thunder Rock Light, A.D. 1901.
This lighthouse is 38 years old. You must take my word for that. Now out this door. I dismiss you all from my mind. Get out. Go on. Kurtz, I appeal to you. Kurtz, why don't you go? Melanie, Miss Kirby, Briggs. I'm asking you, go! I command you, get out of my mind!
Mr. Charleston, you can no more dismiss us from your mind and you can tear from the history books a single page and say it never happened. You'll no more escape us, Mr. Charleston, than escape yourself.
I'm spending the night up in the light chamber. Go or stay as you please.
Aye, keep us in the back of your mind for the night, but come down in the morning and we'll be here.
I'm leaving for the mainland in the morning.
And follow along we will, like gulls to the stern of a ship.
What do you want of me?
How should we know so soon? Man, they've just discovered they're dead, that they only live in your mind. That's a shocking discovery. I know from experience. It takes a bit of adjusting. Never fear, man. We'll know what we want. Now go on aloft. Collect your wits. You'll have need of them.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special bulletin from
Now
Transradio
then, all of you,
News.
listen to this.
London, England, September 1st, 1939. While the appeals for peace from President Roosevelt and Pope Pius XII seemed definitely to have failed, hope was still expressed in semi-official quarters here that the door remains open for further negotiations between London and Berlin. For further details, consult your morning newspapers.
I'm sorry, my friends. Good night. It was a long night with little sleep for me. The storm passed, and the next morning, just before dawn, I opened the door of the light chamber and looked down into the tall, dim room. They were still there. I went down to meet them.
Oh, Papa, at last. Here he is.
Good morning.
Good morning. My superior officer, Inspector Flanning, will be coming to take me to the mainland shortly. You'll have to excuse me while I collect my things from the room here.
If you would like to get your breakfast.
I'm not hungry, thank you. Huh. Briggs is still asleep, I see.
He is an exhausted man.
Yes. I have to apologize, my friends, for getting so worked up last night. Took myself too seriously. As a matter of fact, you did me a great favor. I had to quit the newspaper business once upon a time because I'd lost my detachment. You've restored it. Thanks very much. Excuse me, Miss Kirby. I must take along these few books.
You go back to your old trade?
Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm tempted. Did you hear that radio last night? War. Won't be long now. Biggest story in the history of the newspaper business. The destruction of civilization. I can't make up my mind which is more fun, fighting or watching. What do you think?
David, you do this to run away from us.
No, not just from you. Thinking generally. I created all of you to escape from thinking, and I didn't escape. But modern warfare is noisy, let me tell you, and beautifully distracting.
David, why did you say the destruction of civilization?
Because that's what's coming.
From merely war?
Merely war?
David, I fought on the fields of Austerlitz and saw my fatherland vanquished. But I lived to see Napoleon fall and the continent survive.
The business of describing modern warfare to a man who fought at Austerlitz, deliver me. Now, you must excuse me while I pack these things.
David, I want to ask you some questions.
Go ahead. I warn you, though, you'll have to talk fast.
You were born in America, David.
Illinois, 1913. Why?
Your parents were born in America?
No.
Why did your parents come to America?
Well, what's the difference? You've done plenty of damage to me, my friend, all of you. Don't try to pry into the ruins.
We have done damage to you. What do you think you've done to us? Only last night I thought I was young. I was alive.
Melanie.
I'm sorry. You have the right to ask anything you want. My folks came to America, I always thought, because they were determined to find a sort of freedom they'd never known in Scotland. And the picture changes, that's all. I see them now like I see you, like I see myself. We're all the same people, wanting only to run away. But you in your time had one great advantage on us today. You had an America to run away to.
But you have so much to fight for.
Go ahead, call me a coward.
Aye, that we do.
I knew I'd be hearing from you, Captain Joshua, but I won't listen to you.
No. Oh, you will.
I'm going back to cover a story, Captain, the crash of civilization. I know how it's going to end, and I don't care, but believe you me, it's going to be noisy, and I'll have no ears for you.
Aye, but when it's done, and the wreckage of man's achievement weighs down on your shoulders, then you'll hear me speaking as clear as I speak this instant, the things you could have done to prevent it, the salvation for mankind that lay within your hands and the hands of your countrymen. But you and your countrymen were cowards, Cowards, do you hear?
Captain, as people who once ran away, how can we accuse him of cowardice?
You're generous.
No. We accuse you of something worse. Stupidity. You are a traitor, David, to your own intelligence. If you have the imagination to see us living again in your own mind, then you have the imagination to see yourself dead 90 years and living again in another man's mind.
I know what you're getting at. It's no good. I used to be a crusader, but not anymore. It just isn't for me.
David, see yourself as you've seen me, deserting my work and my fatherland too soon. See your own hopelessness as you've seen mine, foolish and wasted.
Kurtz, we're up against the inevitable.
And so were we thought.
Oh, I can't explain.
Because you have no defense.
Papa tries to help you, David. Please, give him the chance.
All he's asking of me is the same old thing. Blind faith. Blind faith.
No, I do not. What is it you want most?
A logical, reasonable basis for believing the world's got a future.
You have it. David, in our very lives, in all you told us last night yourself, in all you've discovered here in your solitude.
What?
If I had continued my work in Vienna, what would have been the result?
We'd have had anesthetics a few years sooner, that's all.
Exactly. Whether or not I gave up, the problem would have been solved. It was in my power to solve it sooner, and I failed.
So?
Who were all those young men you told me of? The grandson of Erasmus Darwin. What did he do?
Evolution. He propounded a new theory of life.
What if he had given it up? Would the theory still be unknown?
No.
No, someone else would have discovered it later. That young American lawyer, what was his name?
Lincoln.
What did he do?
He ended American slavery.
Would America still have slavery had it not been for Lincoln?
No.
No, someone else would have ended it later. Now, don't you understand? Every obstacle to civilization gets pushed aside sooner or later.
Listen to him, David. It's too late for us, but not for you.
I gave up. I saw only a losing struggle. If I could have known. Whatever the problem mankind faces, sooner or later a solution will come. Man has the power to decide simply this. When? Will it be sooner or will it be later? Now, do you understand?
Yes.
You wanted a positive, logical belief. You wanted a guide for action. You have one.
Kurtz, the first problem we face is war.
You have reason to believe that wars will cease someday.
Someday, but you know what that means, someday? If we do the right thing now, that day may come in a generation. If we do the wrong thing and the world gets destroyed, it may be 1,000 years.
It is a grave responsibility.
A very grave responsibility, yes. Who's going to know what's right to do?
The problem is difficult.
Difficult? There's no man alive with the necessary intelligence to see his way through, the necessary guts to lead the
The
way.
leaders. Only last night, or was it 90 years ago, I cried aloud for leadership and failed to look to myself. David, we have confidence. Anne-Maria, let us be going.
Mr. Briggs, be good enough to awaken and take thought of leaving.
Leaving?
Leaving, are we?
Goodbye, Mr. Charleston, and I wish you every success.
Hey, my miller's about someplace. She's an impatient woman, she is.
Mr. Briggs?
I'm coming, Miss Kirby. Oh, what a morning. Good luck to you, Mr. Charleston.
Wait. Briggs, Miss Kirby.
They've gone. Come, my dear.
People go out that door and I don't have anything to do with it. Kurtz, don't you go, not yet.
We must.
I've got to have something more than philosophy. Kurtz, if you knew my times.
I don't, you see. David, you have no more need of us, and so we go. Now you need only your friends, your contemporaries, your countrymen. I might say, you need only yourself. Have faith, David, in yourself and an ultimate destiny that fights on your side. Ask no longer where the young men of courage and honesty and vision are to help lead your countrymen forward. Have faith in yourself, David, as we have faith in you. Are you ready, Anne-Marie? We face a new journey.
Stefan, you have lost a button.
So I have. Well, I shall not need it.
Come, Melanie, my dear.
On the strength of our faith in you, David, we go out this door. We die again. We go out this door.
My passengers, I ask one favor. May I take the lead?
We'll follow you, Captain.
David?
Melanie, you've come back.
No. It is only that I have not yet gone. I stayed at the door, but you turned away and did not notice me. I had to speak to you before. Oh, David, the only time I've ever felt young, and it comes now.
Don't be afraid, Melanie.
You kissed me. You never did that before.
It wasn't for us.
Papa envied you. I envy another. When you meet her someday, will you tell her?
What shall I tell her?
Only that I envy her. I think, David, I envy all the living, in your times and all times, their right to love and to smile. I envy them their eyes to see with, and their world to look at, even a world that isn't very nice. I envy them all these things I never did myself. Now I must go.
Melanie.
Goodbye, David.
I stood for a long time watching the empty doorway. Then the dawn came up full and the light in the high room began to change. And then I knew that once again I was not alone on Thunder Rock.
Hello, Charlie.
I needed your street.
Inside the inside of another man's mind. Did I ever expect to be here?
I needed your street.
How are you, Charlie?
I'd better ask you. Alive or dead?
From 15,000 feet, you come down pretty fast. I never expected to testify on the subject, but I guess I'm dead.
Street, was it worth it? You're dead. It's the only question I want to ask you. Was it worth it?
I guess that remains to be seen, Charlie. Hey, what's all this packing? Going somewhere?
Shouting from the rooftops.
Good morning, early birds. This is WO.
I left that radio on last night.
Leave it on. Sounds
the latest
nice.
bulletins on the European crisis. Today, September 2nd, 1939, may become a day in world history long remembered. Berlin. Adolf Hitler has delivered a speech believed to be the keynote to general war in Europe. Warsaw, Poland. Frontier reports say that Polish soil has been invaded by German motorized units. Now, a program note. At 8 p.m. this evening, this station will present a symposium on the subject, Can America Escape the Impending European Conflict? One moment, please.
War, Street.
What do they want that symposium for? America can't escape it?
No? There's no such thing as escape, I know.
You sound pleased. I don't know. A few days ago, I died in China. Now there's war in Europe. It spreads like disease. Did I do anything to stop it? Can anybody do anything to stop it?
I've still got my typewriter.
The old weapon.
Right.
You've got no ammunition.
No?
We were the guys without enough message to put in a bottle.
Times change, Street. So do we.
Charlie, if something's happened to you in the last month that's filled you with optimistic platitudes, I'd like to point out that something's happened to me. I'm dead. I'm helpless. I'm sore. I'm in no mood for messages on how to save the world.
I haven't got any, Street. I wish I had. Since I saw you last, I've learned just a little, but it's enough for me. We'll win, Street. It's the one inevitability. Now or later, today or in 1,000 years, we'll smash this thing. I'd like to be in on the kill myself. I'm in favor of doing it now.
I wish I was still alive, Charlie.
I think you've done your part.
I wish to heaven I was still alive. Huh. That must be Flanning. Wonder who's flying for him now.
I couldn't care less.
Brass hat comes, I go. Charlie, we're a couple of guys who spent most of our lives bumping into each other and wondering how it happened. Now we know. We were looking for the same thing. Make the most of it, Charlie.
Thanks.
Well, Flanning's Landing. Joint's raided. So long, Charlie.
So long, Street.
Kerosene outside, Donnie. Everything else in here. Good morning, Charleston.
Morning, Inspector.
Golly, this sure is a load.
Come on in, Cassidy. You likely haven't heard the news, Charleston. War in Europe.
Yes.
Now, that's how he is, Cassidy. Say war in Europe to him, he says yes. Charleston, this is your relief man, Cassidy.
How are you?
How are you? Pleased to meet you.
Excuse me, I don't want to forget my typewriter, because I won't be back ever again.
I don't understand. You're resigning from the service?
In a way, yes. In a way, I've been promoted.
What?
Promoted. Good luck, Cassidy.
Thanks.
I'll see you down by the plane, Inspector. We'll talk.
You've been promoted in the lighthouse service, and I didn't hear about it?
You will, Inspector. You will. Exactly 8 years ago, I left Thunder Rock. I re-entered a nervous, searching, and very real world, our world, a world at war. I worked to win that war that began exactly 8 years ago tonight, and now I'm working to win a peace we do not yet possess. You there listening, I ask you to remember what Dr. Kurt said. Whatever the problem mankind faces, that's us. Sooner or later, a solution will come. Mankind, that's you and me, has the power to decide simply this. When? Will it be sooner or will it be later? We need only our friends, our countrymen, and our faith in ourselves. And we must remain friends. Everyone. Everywhere. We must remain countrymen of the earth. There will be no peace until we are all of us citizens of the world.
From Studio One at CBS, you have just heard Fletcher Markle's production of Thunder Rock by Robert Ardrey, another full-hour Columbia feature from the pages of the world's great storytellers. Tonight's script was prepared especially for this series by Mr. Markle, and the original musical score was composed and conducted by Alexander Semler.
Now may a producer introduce the principal members of our cast tonight. In the world of Charleston's mind,
Captain Joshua
was played by Clarence Derwent.
Dr. Kurtz
was Stefan Schnabel.
Melanie.
Was played by Anne Burr.
Anne-Marie.
Was Miriam Wolfe.
Miss Kirby.
Was Hester Sondergaard.
Briggs.
Was played by Hedley Rennie. And in the real world of Thunder Rock,
Streeter
was played by Robert Dryden. Martin Wolfson was Inspector Flanning. Louis Quinn was Nani. Gregory Morton and Don Douglas were radio announcers. Charleston was played by your producer. Next week from Studio One at CBS, we look forward happily to bringing you The Barretts of Wimple Street by Rudolph Bessier. Until then, this is Fletcher Markle with a good night and thank you from all of us in Studio One.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.